So welcome once again. We have continued with the sketch of curves. We had sketched a curve which is of a cubic function, and now I want to sketch a curve of quadratic function whereby the turning point is on 1. To sketch a curve, we had said we can determine the y-intercept first of all, and at the y-intercept x equals to 0. Therefore, we can get y-intercept by substituting 0. This one will become 0, 0 and negative 3. Therefore, the y-intercept will be negative 3. Then now we can get the turning points, 2 turning points, or the 1 turning point, because the curve is quadratic, so the turning point can only be 1. Therefore, at the turning point, gradient function equals to 0, and we can get the gradient function first of all. Differentiating this one, we bring the 2 there, this will become 4 power 1 plus 4. Because we are dropping 1 here, this one becomes extinct. Therefore, this is the turning point. We know that at the turning point, gradient dy dx equals to 0. This implies that 4x plus 4 equals to 0, so x will be negative 1. X will be negative 1. X will be negative 1. So if x is negative 1 at the turning point, we can know what y is at the same turning point. We can know what y is at the turning point. So at the turning point, y shall be, at the turning point, y shall be 2, negative 1 squared plus 4, negative 1 minus 3. So this is 2 minus 4, 2 minus 4 minus 3. This will be negative 5. Therefore, the turning point is negative 1, negative 5. We can examine the nature of negative 1, negative 5 by having the coordinates of x, the gradient function, so that we may know the gradient. Then we have, when x is negative 1, gradient is 0. At a point beyond negative 1, a point like 1, gradient will be, considering the gradient function, gradient will be 8. And at a point before negative 1, like 0, the gradient shall be, when we have 0 here, the gradient will be 4. The gradient will be, no, a point before negative 1, sorry. 0 is after negative 1, sorry. So after before negative 1, we can have something like negative 2, yeah? So this should be negative 8 plus 4, which is negative 4. Therefore, this gradient is changing from negative through 0 to positive. So the behavior of this turning point is like this. We can say point negative 1, negative 5 is minimum. That's a minimum point. So after identifying the nature of the minimum point, because this is a quadratic curve, we can also know the 2 x-intercepts. And to know the x-intercepts, then we ought to solve the equation by saying that at the turning point y equals to 0. Therefore, 2x squared plus 4x minus 3 equals to 0. So to solve quadratically, we can use the quadratic formula, negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac divided by 2a. So this will be negative 4 plus or minus the square root of 4 squared, 16, 4 times negative 3 times 2 divided by 2 by 2. square root of 16 plus 4 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 2, giving us 40 out of 4. This one is becoming a plus since we have negative 4 by negative 3. Therefore, the square root of 6.3. So 6.3 minus 4 will be 2.3 divided by 4. This will give us 0.6 or negative the square root of, again, 40 square root of 40. Then we minus 4 and we divide by 4, or 2.6, negative 2.6. Therefore, the two turning points will be at 0.6 or negative 2.6. Those are the two turning points. The two x-intercepts, where y goes to 0. Therefore, after getting the two x-intercepts, and the y-intercept is known here, then we can now sketch the curve. We can now have a sketch of the curve. Whereby we are going to talk about y-intercept negative 3, then again 0.6 be somewhere here, 0.6, negative 2.6, can be somewhere there. Those are the x-intercepts. Then again we have the turning point, negative 1, negative 5, negative 1, negative 5, so negative 3, so negative 1 and negative 5 is a point here, the turning point. The turning point we say is a minimum, so it behaves like this. Therefore, the curve is cutting x-intercept there, it turns here, and the cuts the y-intercept is negative 3 like that, proceeds to cut the the x-axis again here. So this will be a sketch of the curve y equals to 2x squared plus 4x minus 3. So that is how we sketch a good curve. Thank you for following. Kindly subscribe to Shifting Grades and share this link. Thank you.